Hi everyone, this is Indrani Kundu, and today in this video I will show you that concept of flow of control loop iteration using for loop. So in my previous video I explained the concept of while loop, that was the introduction of while loop. So this is also an introduction for the second loop structure, that is for loop. And the loop is basically iteration of code and few instructions we want to execute repeatedly, and that is why we write the loop structure. For is a keyword in Python which helps to create a loop structure. Like while is a keyword which helps to create a loop structure, for is also another keyword for creating the loop structure. Keyword means the commands which perform some specific task for that software. So the software, the internal component of the software, they know about the keywords, and for is such a keyword which helps to write repetitive code. So what is the syntax of for? For, like I will print 1 to 10 using for loop. So what will be the structure? For, that is the loop variable count. In is another keyword, in range. I want to write the code 10 times because I want to print 1 to 10. So I will start with 1 and I will end at 10. That is why I need to give 11, because range is a function. It is a built-in and standard library function which generates a set of values inside an object. As we know that Python is object-oriented programming language, and Python, all types of data in Python creates object. If you want to store integer value in memory, it will create an int object. If I want to store boolean value true and false, it will create boolean type of object. And here also one object is created where all the values from 1 to 10 will be stored. So 1 is the start value for range and 10 is the end value for range, and we have to write one more value, extra value, but range will not generate value up to 11, it will generate up to 10, and the values will be generated like 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10. So one increment. As I have not mentioned any increment, I can specify the increment here as the third parameter in range function. First parameter is the start value, second parameter is the end value, and third parameter is the step value. But this step value 1 is by default. So if we don't write 1, then also it will increment 1. Only plus 1 is by default for third parameter. If we do not mention the third parameter, then the third parameter is by default 1. That is, step value is by default 1. So range function basically generates values from 1 to 10 here, and each value will be referred by the variable count. So here for is the keyword, that is the comment. In is also another keyword. Range is a function, and 1 and 11 are the parameters to range function. Range is a standard library function, and count is the variable which will take values from the set of values generated by range function. Now colon again, colon for the block structure. So line number 3, I will write the code for. What is the code? That I need to print the value 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, which is the value referred by count. So count will refer values from 1 to 10. In one iteration, one value, that value will be printed. Then next time count will refer to the next value from the set, and then print will print the next value. So in this way 1 to 10 will be printed. Now this is the end of my loop. So here just one intimation, that is end of the loop, which will be placed outside the loop structure. From the indentation we can understand that this print end of the loop is placed outside the loop, whereas print count is placed inside the loop. From the indentation it is clear that print is placed inside the loop, whereas print count is placed inside the loop, whereas print end of the loop is placed out of the loop. So colon indicates the start of the block structure, and after that indentation helps to implement the concept of block structure. So these small codes will print the values from 1 to 10 in different line, and at the end of the loop statement will be printed. Now I am saving the file. As we know that each Python file has extension .py, so I am not mentioning the extension here. The file name only I have typed, and the extension .py will be automatically attached because the save as type file is Python files. So my file is saved as forloop1.py in a folder, and now I will run the command with this button, clicking this button, or I can also press F5, that is the shortcut key for running the script, means execution of the code. I have executed the code. As I am using Thonny IDE, this is useful because in one screen I can see the editor window as well as I can see the output screen, which is shell basically in Python. So my code has been executed, and then the output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 also printed, and then end of the loop is also printed at the end of the loop. One time only. 1 to 10 these are printed inside the loop structure. So this is the very basic code with for structure, where we use the range function. Range generates a set of values, and from that set of values the variable which I have used here, count, refers the values from start to end, and one by one the loop statement executes. Here only one statement is placed inside the loop structure, and the loop is executing 10 times. Now the next code with the for loop. I will generate the series like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, ... 10, 19. So this is the series for odd numbers from 1 to 19. The numbers are incremented by 2, and this series can be easily generated by for loop structure like this. I will start with 19. I will end at 1. I will start at 1 and I will end at 90. So 1, 20, but the increment is with 2. So I have to mention the increment here for count in range 1, 20, 2. So the first value in this range will be 1, as the third parameter of the range function, the step value is mentioned as 2. So the next value of this set will be 3, the next value of this set will be 5, the next value of the set will be 7. In this way the set of values will be generated from 1 to 19. And then if I want to print on same line, then I have to use the parameter end and then equals to the string value. If you want to give comma, then you can give comma. I want to provide space, so I have given space with end parameter. So print without end prints on new line, but with end is actually the name of the parameter. End equals to within single or double quote you can write any character or any symbol that will be printed here. So here the values from 1 to 19 will be printed on same line. So in this way 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 till 19 will be printed. With same program I will show you another series, that is I need to print backward, that is from 10, 9, 8, 7 2, 1. So I will print from 10 to 1 with the help of for loop. Let's see. For count in range, start value is 10, end value is 1, so I have to write 0, and then for decrementing the step value is a must. So for count in range 10, 0, -1 will generate values from 10 to 1 with -1 step value, that is here decrement is happening. And for this type of decrement loop, if we do not provide the third parameter, that is the negative increment, that is decrement, the loop will not iterate. So now I am printing count with the end specification. So this for loop will print the values from 10 to 1, and here I have provided 3 parameters within range function. First one is the start value, then the end value, and then the decrement one. Negative increment, that is -1, will help to generate values from 10 to 1 with 1 decrement, and this print statement will print the values from 10 to 1. So I am saving my file. Executing the file. See, in this first print I have printed the values from 1 to 19, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, as I have not given any new line. So the next print also starts from the same line, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. If I provide one print statement, then the next print will be on next line. See, now it is 1 to 19 and then next line 10 to 1. So in this in these two examples, first one I have iterated the loop from 1 to 19 with 2 increment, and next one 10 to 1 with 1 decrement. That is, for decrement we need to provide the third parameter as the negative value, then the decrement will be implemented. See another loop. So in this loop I have printed 10 values, but not the count value. It is the value that is count square. Count double star 2 double star in Python is known as exponentiation operator, and it helps to print the a to the power b values. Here count is a and 2 is the b, so it will print count to the power 2, that is the square value of count, and count will have the value from 1 to 10. So it will print the values from 1 to 10, but the square of 1 to 10. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square up to 100. So it will print 1, then 2 square 4, then 3 square 9, then 4 square 16, in this way up to 10 square, that is 100. I am providing n, so it will print on same line. See the output, this is the output for the first loop, this is the output for the second one, and this is the output for the third one. That is all the square values from 1 to 10, square of 1 to 10. If we want to print the cube, then simply change the power. I am copying the code and then pasting here, and then I am changing the power. So count to the power 3 will print the cube of all the values from 1 to 10. See the output? So the last output is the cube of all the values from 1 to 10. And here I have not mentioned the third parameter, that is the step value, because third parameter is by default 1, and as I need to run the loop from 1 to 10 times, so third parameter is not required here, which is by default 1. So this is the end of the video, and here I have explained the basic concept of for loop with the range function. How can we run a loop for increment, how can we run a loop for decrement, and in my next video I will share the complex programs with for and while loop. For time being, thank you. Bye.